Everyone from the weaving shed to the grinding stones was whispering the same thing. The widow had brought something home from the sacred forest. Something that did not belong to her. One woman went straight to Jelani. Jelani did not knock. He never knocked when he entered Abeni's hut. He walked through the doorway the way a man walks into a room he believes belongs to him, which in his mind it did. He was broad in the shoulders and short in his patience, and he looked at Abeni the way people look at problems they are tired of solving. He saw the clay bowl immediately. "What is that?" he said. Abeni stood between him and the bowl. "It is nothing that concerns you. Everything in this compound concerns me," Jelani said. "Or have you forgotten who holds your husband's land?" He walked past her. He looked down at the egg, and his eyes changed. Not with fear. With interest. The kind of interest a man gets when he sees something he wants to understand so he can control it. Then he noticed the crack. "The shell is broken," he said slowly. "It cracked on the path," Abeni said. He turned to face her. A widow who enters sacred forest places does not bring blessings home. She brings trouble. For herself. And for the family connected to her name. He said it like a warning, but his eyes were still on the egg. The elders must see this. The elders came before the sun was fully high. Jelani had called them with the urgency of a man who smells an opportunity and does not want it to pass. He stood at the front of Abeni's hut while she remained to one side, arms crossed, saying nothing. She had learned long ago that silence was sometimes the only shield a woman without a husband could carry. Jelani spoke carefully. He explained that his dead brother's widow had entered the forbidden forest alone, that she had returned with a strange object of unknown origin. He reminded the elders that anything found near family land, or brought home by a family widow, belonged to the husband's bloodline. The oldest elder, Baba Segan, squinted at the egg in its clay bowl. "This came from the forest?" "Yes," said Abeni. "And you entered that forest alone." "I have been entering it alone for 3 years," she said, "because it is the only place left that feeds me." The room went quiet. Then the egg moved. Not much. A small trembling, like something adjusting itself inside. But everyone saw it. The elders stepped back as one. Jelani's jaw tightened. The oldest woman in the room pressed her hand to her chest. And the shell's thin crack grew just slightly wider. No one spoke while the egg trembled. Then, with a soft sound like a clay cup cracking in the fire's heat, the shell split open from the top downward. Pieces fell away gently, not shattering, not exploding, breaking the way old secrets break. Slowly, one layer at a time. What sat inside the broken shell was a bird, small enough to fit in 2 cupped palms. Its feathers were pale, the color of fresh ash, and each one caught the light differently. But what made everyone in the room go still was not the feathers. It was the eyes. The bird's eyes were round and dark and quiet. They looked at each person in the room the way a very old person looks at people who do not yet understand something important. The bird looked last at Abeni. It held her gaze for a long moment. Then it settled back into the broken shell, as if it was exactly where it meant to be. That night the old woman appeared at Abeni's window. She did not come inside. She simply pressed her face near the gap in the woven wall and whispered one sentence. "It will lay riches only where there is no greed." By morning, a single gold bead sat beneath the bird, warm and perfectly round. The gold bead was real. Abeni tested it with her teeth the way market women test coins. It left a faint mark. It was soft and heavy, and it caught the morning light like a small piece of captured sun. She held it and she wanted to weep, not from happiness exactly, but from the feeling of someone who has carried a heavy load for so long that they have forgotten what it feels like to set it down. But before she could think of what to do with it, Jelani arrived. He always arrived quickly when there was something worth arriving quickly for. By midday, he had gathered the elders again. His argument was smooth and prepared. The bird had come from family land, or near it. The spirit that sent it was clearly looking for a stronger vessel. A widow alone could not guard something this powerful. It would attract attention. It would attract danger. For the protection of the village, Jelani said, "This bird must come into my compound." The elders nodded. Thanks for watching Tales by Arlise. Please follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a comment below if you love this story and wants to see the next part.